How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Ruffle Rowlett, and welcome back to a brand new video, guys. So today we're going to be starting a brand new series on the channel, which I'm really excited to be starting for you guys, because it's kind of a series that I started a long time ago, but I want to restart it for the hype for Generation 8. So, as you guys know, Gen 8 is slated to be released, or rather the next Pokemon games on the Switch, which are going to be Generation 8 as confirmed by Nintendo and Game Freak and them dudes over there at Pokemon. It's going to be a Generation 8 game, but it's going to be in 2019. It's almost a year and a half away from now when we're going to be receiving those games. So it's a long time to go, and we really don't have much to talk about in terms of these games because we don't really know any information about them. There are no rumors about the games. There are no leaks and stuff to talk about. There's no information or trailers or any of that sort of stuff about these upcoming games. So I thought we'd do something different for a little bit here as a fun little thing. And that's going to be, let's make a new region, or let's make a region together for Pokemon Generation 8, and I'm going to explain what this is all about right now for you guys. So, I did this series a while back called Let's Make a New Region. It was called the My Region series, which was essentially where I created a region, a Pokemon region, together with my viewers. And I want to do that again, but this time I want to do it for Generation 8. So basically how this series works is, I create a bunch of things, and I make videos out of it, and then you guys can also submit your stuff, your IDs, your Pokemon, your Fakemon, all that sort of stuff. You can submit it to an email, which I'll leave on the screen so you guys can see it. You can submit it there, and we can actually have your stuff featured in the videos. And that's not all, actually. That's not all. You can also leave suggestions for the names of cities, what we're going to base the region on, what country we're going to base it on, that sort of stuff. You can leave all of that in the comment section down below. So the comment section is going to be one of the most important parts of this series, where I'm going to take a lot of the things that you guys say. Everything's going to be based on what you guys come up with. So everything in terms of names and that sort of stuff, I'll take from you guys, and I won't really be doing anything there myself, because I want you guys to have an influence on what you guys think this region should be called, what it should look like. All that stuff is going to be based on your guys' feedback. And then when it comes to, doing some sort of visual representations, I'll make sure to fix that for you guys. You can see some really nice artworks and stuff on the screen, stuff like that. So that's the basic premise. You guys submit some art, some IDs, and we start building a region together while we wait for these games to come out next year. That's the basic premise. Okay, so the first thing we want to kind of establish is, what can you guys do for this series? What can you do to influence it, and how can you help out if you don't know how to draw and that sort of stuff? Well, like I said, the comment section is the most important part of this series. You guys down there are going to be able to submit your thoughts and ideas, as well as what you think the region should be called, which we'll eventually get into. What you think it should be called. What should we base it on? The names of certain Pokemon. So, for example, sometimes I'll have like a Fakemon on the screen. For example, let's say the starter Pokemon for our little region. I'll have the, the artworks on the screen, and then I'll ask, like, okay, guys, so what do you think the water starter should be called? What should the fire starter be called? What should the water starter be called? Give your name suggestions in the comment section down below, and then you guys will be able to submit your IDs and that sort of stuff, and we'll, kind of like take your suggestions and insert them into this project. And that's the general thought. Now, the most important thing I want to point out here for people to understand, this is not going to be a video game. We're not making a video game. We're just making a region for fun. So don't expect this to become some sort of fan game or anything like that. And this isn't related to my old series. I am making a fan game with my team or whatever. We're making a fan game that's called Pokemon Rowl. This isn't related to that whatsoever. This is not in any way connected to that. This is totally separate from that. My fan game is totally separate from what this project is. This is supposed to be us, we together, just making a region for fun. That's the whole point of this project. I want to make sure I point that out, because a lot of people just didn't seem to understand that back when I originally did my first ever region series. So I want to make sure I point that out so people understand and comprehend what I'm trying to get across. But yeah, that's the general premise, guys. We're just making a region for fun together. That's the whole purpose, and we're just doing it as a fun thing, as a fun little side project while we wait until we get ourselves, some announcements, some, news about these upcoming games for 2019. But that's supposed to, that's the kind of purpose of this. It's just something fun to do while we wait. That's really all. So I hope you guys understand that. But that's just general premise for what you can do to help out and that sort of stuff. I just want to go through that. Now, if you want to check out the email, it's going to be on the screen here. I'll put the email so you guys can email your stuff there. Your artworks and stuff. If you have any, Fakemon you've drawn and you want to submit them and that sort of stuff, send it right there, guys. And, I'll look through it, and maybe we'll feature it, maybe we won't. We'll see what we do. But you can send it right there, though, in general terms. So, yeah, that is that. Now, what is next? What do we want to do next here? Well, this episode is to establish things. So, let's do that. So I thought the first thing we'd do to establish this series is to decide what's going to be the country that we base this region on. So as you guys know, a lot of the Pokemon regions are based on specific countries. Well, you know, Kanto is based on the Kanto region in Japan. Johto is also just based on, just essentially Japan in general. I'm not sure exactly what part, but it's based on Japan as well, as you notice in the architecture when you play through the, Johto games. And then, of course, you have Hoenn, which is kind of a bit of a mixture. I'm not really sure exactly what Hoenn's based on, but you do have Alola, which is based on Hawaii. You have Unova, which is based on the United States. You have, like, essentially the whole of, whatchamacallit, the whole of Kalos is being based on France. So you have a lot of different, like things that these regions are based on. They're always based kind of on a country or an area or whatever in the world, and I thought it'd be fun to base our little ID for Generation 8 on a specific place. So I want to see you guys leave suggestions down below, and basically what I'll do is I'll look through which country got the most suggestions. For example, if somebody says, like, if a bunch of people said Spain, let's let it be a Spain region, then I'll count how many people said Spain, and then I'll just kind of count that together. If people say maybe Sweden, or people say Norway or whatever, or like the Nordic regions, whatever, like, I'll count all that, and then we'll decide based on that. A few of those, we'll pick out a few, and we'll have you guys vote for which place it should be based on. So, leave your suggestions in the comment section down below, and we'll, take up like maybe 4 to 5 countries, and you guys can vote in the next episode for which country you want it to be based on. So we'll do that. But keep in mind, don't be, angry if your country doesn't get chosen because there was less people voting for it and that sort of stuff. But it's just a little bit of a thing, you know what I mean? So don't get too mad about it. It's just for fun at the end of the day, guys. It's just for fun. But yeah, so leave your suggestions for what country we should base the region on in the comment section down below. Okay guys, so this part of the video, I want you guys to do me a little bit of a favor. If you look in the top right corner, you'll see that there is a little I button, like the letter I, and you can press that, you can actually vote on this video. Now, what are you going to be voting for? Well, basically, I want to know what you guys feel like we should establish in our region. Should we go with just having brand new Pokemon, like the way Black and White worked? Because in Black and White, you had essentially only the Black and White or Generation 5 Pokemon, and then once you got post-game, that's when you can finally unlock all the other ones. So I thought, if we're making this region together and that sort of stuff, do you think we should just do Fakemon and our own kind of designs and stuff for this region initially, and then once we've kind of, established it a bit more, or once we finish the region, then we can be like, okay, let's now add in a bunch of the original Pokemon into it, you know what I mean? So I want to ask you guys, do you think, which one should we go with? Do we go with just new Fakemon, or do we insert previous original Pokemon into the whole concept in general from the get-go? So let me know your guys' thoughts on that, and make sure to vote on it. It should be on the screen right there. You guys could be able to see it. Just vote, and that should be good. So let's continue to the next part. Now, the next part is, once we have the region established, in the next episode, we will most likely go over what the, region should be called. What should we call it? So I thought, if you guys, do suggest any regions or, any countries right now, if you suggest, like, a Spanish region, then also feel free to leave a name for the region right next to it. Because, when you think of regions in Pokemon, you have a lot of different ones. You have Kalos, you have, Kanto, Johto, Sinnoh, Unova, etc., Alola. You have a bunch of these regions. So if you want to, also make sure to leave a suggestion for what the region should be called alongside the country it should be based on. And maybe, maybe we'll also take one of those suggestions from this episode, so we'll see what that, how that goes and how that turns out. But yeah, let me know your thoughts about that, guys. Either way, let's get to the next part. Okay, so that is about it, guys. That's all I want to go through mainly here, but I have a few other things that I want to just kind of establish really quickly, guys. In the next episode, we'll be deciding, what region we're going to be basing this on, or like what country we're going to base our region on. We're going to decide the name for the region most likely as well, or we'll maybe do that in the third episode. We'll see how that turns out. If you guys want to see more, of course, of this series, that is. And not just that, though. We have a bunch of other things to go about, next time. If we have enough submissions, we may even go through what the starter Pokemon should be. And if we have a bunch of people who have submitted, like, starter Pokemon designs, we'll pick out a few of them, and we'll have you guys vote for which of the starter designs you want to, have in the game, which one you want us to use, so to say. So we'll do that as well. But that is not all. We will also establish a lot of other things next time around. We'll maybe even establish the evil team, what we could base the evil team on, what it could be based on, etc. Stuff like that. So we'll have a lot of things in the next episode to go through. And I just want to quickly thank you guys so much for watching this series, and I hope you guys do enjoy it. And of course, if you do enjoy it, guys, let's see if we can hit 200 likes for more of this series. If we can hit 200 likes, we'll have next episode out as soon as possible. So feel free to show some love to that like button. Feel free to show some love to that sub button as well. And thank you so much for watching this, guys. I'll see you all in the next episode of Let's Make a New Region for Pokemon Generation 8. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Have a great day, and bye-bye.